Hi, London here with your landform news. Today we have discovered a new landform called the Delta. Let's check in with Gracie, the scientist, to see what is going on with this new Delta. What does your landform look like?
Well, a delta can be sandy depending on the location, just like I said in the last question. And duh is by the water, obviously, because that's how it was created. And it can have cities or towns in it. But you would probably be like, what? No, it's not possible. Or you might be like, oh, cities or towns, but they're probably not very popular. Well, actually, one of the most popular towns or cities in Louisiana is New Orleans, and that is a delta. So, you better rethink that if you're thinking, oh, those are probably not very good cities, or they're probably very poor towns, or something like that. So, that is what some landform or a delta looks like. And of course, it can be many more things, but those are just a couple of things on what a delta looks like.
Hi, this is Gracie. How is a delta formed?
Well, a delta is formed or created by a river with land nearby it or on it, and waves crashing onto it. And then sediments will, when the wave hits onto the land, sediments will start to drop. And after a while, after over 1,000 years, the sand, or whatever the island's made out of, starts to pile up and create. It can expand the land right here, or it can create more nearby it. So to answer your question, that is how a delta is created.
Gracie, my next question is, what is the environment like around your landform?
Well, the environment around a delta, it could be very sandy depending on the location. So if it's by a river that London and I just drew, it wouldn't really be that sandy because normally areas around rivers or like the shoreline isn't very sandy. But if it's by the ocean, then yeah, it's going to be sandy. So that's the environment like around a delta.
Thank you. Scientist Gracie, my last question for you is, how does erosion impact your landform?
Well, erosion impacts a delta by the land size. What I mean by that is if the waves are more powerful and bigger, when it would crash into the land, so it would cause more sediments to drop and pile up faster. Not necessarily like the speed of its dropping, but how fast it would pile up. And if the waves are if the waves are less powerful or smaller, or just no waves at all, it will take a longer period of time for the sediments to build up. So that's how erosion impacts a delta.
Thank you. We hope you have a nice day.
You too.
Scientist Gracie for that wonderful report on the delta. Well, back to you, Bob, for more news.